I'm going to walk you through my two annotating processes, one for the books I get from the library and the other for books that I own. I do most of my reading either in bed or tucked in the corner of the couch, which is why my supplies are in my nightstand. This cute little container and all the sticky notes in it were both gifts from my mom that I've held on to over the years. And the clipboard I keep my notebook on was a gift from my 4th grade teacher, and it has my name on it. I feel like you just accumulate this stuff over the years, and I have a habit of hanging on to random supplies that might be useful one day. I'm so glad I went through the bottom of this little container because I found the skinny pink tabs, which are the ones I like to use, and I didn't even know I had them. I get most of my books from the library, which means that I'm not highlighting or writing in the books themselves, but taking notes in my notebook instead. For example, here are some notes I took for one of my recent reads, To Die For. I took really thorough notes for this one because it was for a partner read that I did with one of my friends. I wasn't sure when we were going to meet up and discuss the book, so I wanted to have extra notes to refresh my memory. Since I obviously can't annotate directly in a library book, I write everything down in my notebook. I'll include the page number of what I'm commenting on, direct quotes, and lengthy iterations of what I'm thinking. Then after I'm done writing all my notes, I read back through them and highlight the parts that stood out to me. If I'm writing a post on a book for my newsletter on Substack, I'll be even more thorough in the notes that I write. The smaller notebook contains the notes I took for Britney Spears' book, The Woman in Me. I wrote a post on this one, and I'll link that in the comments if you want to read it. One of the first books I took notes for, I wrote them so quickly and sloppily that when I went back to read my notes, I had no idea what I was even talking about or referencing. And I'd already returned the book to the library, so it was just a mess. So this is why now I'm more detailed in my note-taking. Maybe you're like this too, but if I'm too many books down the line, sometimes I don't always remember what a previous book was about. I'll always remember its vibe, but not always the specifics. When I'm annotating books that I own, I'll bring out my highlighter and my tabs. I only recently started highlighting and writing in my own books. I started doing this with used books I bought for $1 at library book sales and used bookstores. Something about highlighting and annotating in a brand new book just feels wrong to me. I haven't graduated to that level yet. I was always really precious about keeping my books in perfect condition when I was younger, and I'm slowly dismantling that perfectionism with every book that I annotate today. When using tabs, I only use one color to signal that, hey, you highlighted or wrote something important here. So that way if I want to look back at my notes on this book later, I know which pages I can find them on. I don't use a rainbow of tabs where each color signifies something different. My brain can't keep track of that while I'm reading. I already feel interrupted enough to be stopping and tabbing something. I can't be bothered to color code and attempt to remember what each color means. And lastly, I don't annotate every book that I read. Sometimes I just want to read purely for enjoyment or relaxation. Continually pausing to highlight, write something down, or grab a sticky note can get annoying. Sometimes I just want to simply read. So don't start thinking that I am this thorough for every book. And that's my annotating process. Give me your critique of it in the comments.